So, welcome. My name is Sherrill Moody, and this is a picture of my family. For those of you who have never met me, I am a mother of 6 children, wife of one. Mark and I have been married for 30 years now. It's official. We have 6 children, 6 beautiful children, 4 living, and 3 grandchildren at this point while we're doing this series. I'm starting this series to help us find health and joy and goodness during the holiday season, and I'm very grateful to be able to bring this to you. I will share a little bit more about my story throughout the series, but suffice it to say, we've been through a lot, and to be here is a little bit of a miracle, actually, in our lives. I want to know about you. I have presented this as a series of support for going through the holiday seasons with very high anxious feelings, low feelings, unsure feelings, a lot of change, a lot of things going on that are difficult to handle. And so I want to let you know this is a safe place to ask questions, to learn, and to begin a process maybe that you haven't been able to begin a process of in sharing and using different ideas to feel emotions that you've been afraid to feel, or address things that you have not known how to address. We're going to talk about all of that because as you'll learn throughout the series, I've been through a journey over the last several years, and has put me in a place where I can't believe I can actually share these kind of things and help others. What is it that makes this time of year so difficult? Well, so in the work that I do, I teach courageous women how to navigate life storms so that they majestically and magnificently lead others to clearer skies. And what makes this time of year difficult for so many people are things like this: past events at gatherings during this time of year, past losses at this time of year, losses in previous years or during this year, and this is the first time that those loved ones will be missing, and so that makes it a little bit difficult. Then we also have trauma that interferes with relaxing into the joy-filled moments. There are experiences that people experience, as everyone from our military with things like PTSD to, and lots of triggers, to those who have just experienced traumatic experiences. When those things like loss, job changes, big shifts in life like a divorce or infidelity or injury, there are many things that alter life or create trauma that in many ways we don't feel we have control over. And so then we worry about what's going to come next, or something triggers and we're around a group of people. And in the holidays, we're more likely to be around a group of people. And so we might find triggers. I like to think about this. So one of the things I hate doing is running. And it is something that I have started to make myself do a little bit of to regain my health a little bit. And I'm being gentle. I'm not overly anxious about it, and I don't push myself super hard. I have some goals I'm striving for. And anyways, so one of the things that bothered me one day was that I was running along, and here it is fall, and we're kind of at that transition between fall and winter here in Kentucky. And one of the things I love about where I live is all of the trees and the green and the colors in the fall and everything. So I'm running, and I'm just hateful about having to run. And not only that, I'm running along and I'm worried that there are acorns everywhere on this one street and these beautiful oak trees. And I saw acorns everywhere. And I took a picture of a couple of them in the road as I just made myself stop and take a picture and say, oh, these acorns. And this is just a couple of them in this one spot. But a lot of time, look how small these are. And one's even in a crack. Like I wouldn't even step on it and fall. But in my mind, the whole time I'm running, I'm uptight and I'm just like, oh, what if I fall? I got to run out here and watch for cars because I don't want to run in this spot where the acorns are. And my emotional state was not relaxed. My worries expounded based on where to step and who was here and what was there. And I just had myself fit to be tied during this part of the run. And this went on for several weeks while the acorns were nice and thick and all over, and the squirrels were happy campers. And I just thought, oh, I really need to stop this because I know better. But the acorn effect is when we have little things, but they seem so big, and we're really afraid that we look too far ahead and we start worrying about what could happen. You're created to function as a whole, right? I have a spirit, a body, and a mind that if they're all nourished, I have complete wellness, right? And so with the acorn effect, my mind is really struggling. I'm really struggling in my mind, my mindset, and I'm worried about my body, getting hurt. But I need to nourish my mind to the point that I would have the faith and the strength and the courage just to relax into the run that I already don't like to do, but I could even change that mindset, to be honest with you, and not dislike it so much. In this class, we're going to learn a lot about science and about habits and about practical application. But what I really want to share with you right now as the beginning to this series is some science, because when I first learned about the science behind emotions and emotional health, it was empowering to me. And so I want to share that with you. Your body is made up of intelligent cells wired to restore health. We can be our best wellness advocate. Emotions are information carrying molecules that bind to and react with cell receptors. Okay. So you have complete science. It's not some random thing that happens. Emotions are information carrying molecules. They bind to and react with cell receptors. They get into the cells, they impact the cell function and behavior. This is so important to understand. Throughout the body, we basically have 3 brains that our body works from. Science reveals that the functions in the mind, heart, and gut are key. So in the mind, we have the logic and the intellect. The subconscious mind directs over 90% of the behavior. And we're going to talk a little bit about more about that, a little bit more about that tomorrow. And I'll make sure I share more in detail there. The heart is the intuition. There are more neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. Think of the power of that. More neural pathways running from the heart to the brain than the brain to the heart. So when we feel something powerfully in our heart, we're triggering some things going on in our brain, right? And it helps to establish a stronger basic subconscious belief system. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Gut, your gut feeling. 90% of the body's serotonin involved in mood management is produced in the gut. Look at how important your gut is to your emotional health, right? I saw that and I thought, oh my goodness. 3 brains communicate with each other. They feed back to and therefore influence the mind. This is by Dr. Caroline Leaf, neuropsychologist. So when they're all connected and everything's functioning well, we have complete wellness. And we have life that happens. There are life experiences. So we could be like this young mom who has a young baby in her arms and is getting some kind of bad news on the phone and the dog's barking all at the same time. We're trying to process everything, and she could process it in a negative way or a positive way. Maybe she's saying, I have to figure this out. I feel overwhelmed. I'm stuck. If she thinks like that, then there's head tension. There's conflicting feelings in the heart. You have the unsettled stomach or the digestive issues. There's a lot of disconnect. And she could keep feeding that. So let's say some more things happen. And she could keep feeding this belief system and it does give it roots and it grows that. So our belief system shows up. My belief about falling on acorns shows up after I probably had an experience where I slipped or fell or was riding a bike growing up and, I slipped and fell off a bike. Those kind of things can happen, right? So I'm just feeding that, like I'm going to run and trip. And why worry about that when I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't done it yet. I mean, the acorns are all gone now pretty much because it's cold and it's rained and stuff, and the squirrels have gathered them up. So, didn't even happen, right? So one of the key things that I want to talk about are how aromatic compounds can help support the emotional side. So let me see if I'm going to take myself off of this slide real quick, and I'm going to go back to the video. So one of the things that I want to share with you is that when you are talking about mindset, when we are talking about having experiences through the holidays that are positive and that are uplifting and joy-filled, we have part of that we can take care of. In fact, everything that I talk about it's going to be all about tools that strengthen your ability to handle the holidays. 2 years ago this week, our son lost his battle with mental illness. He was hit with mental illness his freshman year in college, and he passed away at age 23. So he would have been 25 right now. And the battle with mental illness is what drew me to my next segment in this particular discussion. When he was battling mental illness and he began taking the medication, so he had started to get the diagnoses and he was taking medication, he complained a lot about pain. And I watched his young, healthy, physical, athletic body just cringe with pain, and his mind, his head hurt, his body hurt. The physical effects of the medications that he was on, they were strong medications, it was very real. And I was very worried about him, as a mother would be, right? And so I I started researching. My sister-in-law introduced me to essential oils. Now, many of you may have heard about using essential oils. I hope you have. They're a powerful tool. And so I heard about frankincense and studied a little bit about how frankincense can break through the blood-brain barrier. I studied further and found that doTERRA has the only grade 1 frankincense essential oil. And that doTERRA doesn't use any fragrances. So it doesn't use the natural turpentine that is found throughout the industry. There are a lot of things synthetically that I just couldn't do synthetics, and so that's why I chose the brand that I do currently use, that I used with him and through the process. We did find a lot of good results and a powerful shift for our family, and it actually brought us to this place where we could process his death. 5 months later, after he passed away, our daughter aspirated while having a major asthma attack, and in the following week, she passed away. So within 5 months, we lost 2 of our 6 children, and it hasn't even been 2 years with our daughter. She was 9, and it was a very difficult time, very, very stunningly difficult time. We continued to strive to work. We have a 6-year-old at home currently. She was 4 and then 5 when her sister passed away. We have 3 living adult children, 2 who are married, beginning their families, 1 who's engaged, and we knew that we had to function. And our concern was that we continue to be able to take care of ourselves, hold our family together, support each other. And so what I'm going to share next is one of the tools that we used. And if you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out and ask those questions, because I am excited about the things that I have learned and that I have used in helping other people. And I want to make sure you get your hands on what you're interested in. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this screen. Bear with me here. And here we go. Hopefully this is working for you. Here we go. So here you have a picture of somebody smelling the aromas off of a rose. On the petals of a rose are little aromatic compounds called essential oils, and they are all over the petals. Rose essential oil is one of the most powerful, highest vibrating essential oils that are available in the world today. The reason why aromatic substances work so well is that they go into the nasal cavity, and the olfactory bulb is in there, and the olfactory neurons go into affect the olfactory nerve and then trigger the limbic system of the brain. And the limbic system of the brain is a very powerful part of the brain. This is a place where trauma is stored, where memories, both good and bad, are stored. And so to be able to affect the limbic part of the brain is nearly impossible, but this is the one way that you can do that. And so this talks about what essential oils are. They are natural aromatic compounds. And I'm going to get rid of this video so that you can see this better. Okay, there we go. In this, it shows that the seeds, the petals, the bark, the peel, the leaves, all of these parts of a plant, including the roots, in fact, have essential oils on it. And that's a magnified picture of a peppermint leaf oil sac. These essential oils are supercharged with potency. So 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. This is a picture that I value very much. In Somaliland, in Somalia, the frankincense is harvested very carefully. And doTERRA has a botanist they're working with who's very focused on preservation and taking care of the trees and working with the locals. There are 21 tribal lords that have come together to do a co-op so that their people can benefit from harvesting the frankincense. And because doTERRA is working directly with them, doTERRA takes all the grade 1 frankincense essential oil and brings that to us. The grade of oil is definitely important in what I'm talking about, because if you have synthetics involved, it is bad for your cellular health, but it also affects the ability to affect the mood and emotions that you're dealing with during the holidays. And I've experienced this after the passing away of our children. I used the essential oils. I'm a woman of faith. I pray and I read my scriptures, and I felt many miracles because many people were generous and gave of their love and their prayers and their support. And while all of that was going on, I was using these essential oils in the ways I'll talk about here in a minute. But it's really important that I was using that I continue to use essential oils that do not have synthetics. So candles aren't going to do this for me. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm a recovering candle addict. Ask anyone over the last many years of my adulthood. There's always, especially this time of year, been a burning candle in my house, and with all the scents of the holidays that we love. So this is really important and a big reason for what I'm talking about. This shows a frankincense tree, and it actually shows somebody harvesting the frankincense from that tree and the difficulty that they go through. In 1 drop of a pure essential oil, you have over 40 million trillion molecules. They're tiny, and that's why they can break through the cellular walls. And you want them to not have any heavy metals in there from pesticides or any fillers from fertilizers and stuff. And this is really important. Chemical compounds service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. And this is impactful when, let's say like tonight, I had the most wonderful time with a group of women, a very quick time that we had together. And it was at church, and we got together and had a Christmas gathering. And one of the things that happened is the woman sitting next to me, while we were working with our son, who was battling with his mental illness, her husband became very ill and passed away. And also there was a loss of 2 parents during that time too. And she said to me, tonight was the 4-year anniversary, and it just melted my heart, because I understand where she's coming from, as this is a week that's very difficult for us too. And she said, I think the first 2 years I was so depressed, and then these last 2 years I haven't really allowed myself to process the emotions. And I said, I really do understand. And I said, can I do something? And I took one of the essential oils, and I had her put it in her hand, rub her hands together and breathe it in. And immediately tears started coming to her eyes. And I said, I know, just allow it to come. And then I put another blend on her wrists and had her rub her wrists together. And she was able to compose very quickly, but she was able to talk about it. And I said, we just need to talk, and I'll share with you some of the things that I've done so that I can continue to move forward. This matters, to have this effective, strong, essential oil to interact chemically with your body, with your cells, to help clean the cell receptor sites so that the cells are functioning and talking, so that when you have emotions going on in your body, from your mind to your heart to your gut, that your cells can all stay very healthy and communicate so that nothing gets stuck. And that will be part of the theme of this entire series, is we're going to talk about things that help us to keep moving forward. Even if it's painful, we'll have some tools here that you can use to ease that pain, to lift your heart, to ease your mind, to settle your gut. Okay? This is the essential oil I put on her hand. This essential oil is wild orange, and it's an emotionally purifying essential oil. It's also a detoxing oil for your cells. It anchors in a healthy body chemistry. It's wonderful. Oh, it smells so good. And I will talk about more about the emotional side of some certain essential oils. I'm not going to have a lot of time through this series, but I will be talking about some specifics, and we'll talk more about wild orange. So this essential oil used on her skin, like my friend, dear friend tonight, supported her cell receptors so that she could go ahead and let the emotions come on this very, very sacred, special night of transition for her husband and her transition in her life to her new reality without him while she finishes out her life. And it promotes the healthy cell function. Peppermint essential oil supports mental focus. It helps clear the mental fog. This is a really uplifting essential oil to use with the wild orange, and I've used it. Several of you have been at events where I've put these two together and had everybody try it, and it's an amazing uplift. This would be a fantastic twosome to use both topically, like on your hand, breathe it in, put on the back of your neck, and putting these two essential oils, a couple drops in a diffuser together, are wonderful. Smell is the fastest way to affect mood, okay? Essential oils are dynamic, and they support your body physically and emotionally. So you can apply them topically to the bottoms of your feet. You can put them on your spine. I use them as perfumes, like on my wrist or back of my neck or behind my ears. There's several different areas. You can apply them over your heart, on the back of your neck, over your stomach. There's several different ways, and we'll talk more about that. Internally used with doTERRA, that is definitely an option that is not had with any others because of no heavy metals, no fertilizers being used with the chemicals in them, and no fillers or anything that are used that have synthetics. The synthetic fragrances are completely out of the picture with these, so that's great. Using them internally is great for the internal system. So I just want to share a couple recommendations to go along with that. Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol Trueman is a fantastic book. And I'm just going to give you this list. We'll revisit this list again, but pick one of them. And if you can get on Amazon, even order them used. I have definitely done that. Go to your local bookstore, wherever. Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol Trueman. Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Anything Brene Brown has out there is going to help you, as it has helped me, to have a really good perspective. The Secret has many quotes that are uplifting and hope-filled, and The Jackrabbit Factor by Leslie Householder is a phenomenal book if you're looking for something where you're at a place where you're willing to look at your new reality. And that's a place that we want to try to get to, because even saying it, I know I get a little bit of fear, because it doesn't mean that we're forgetting past either people, and I'm thinking about loss, but a new reality can feel scary or uncertain. But the Jackrabbit Factor gives you a really nice vision of how to do that. If you would like to go to my blog, I admittedly did my best to write some very heartfelt entries. This is a little bit about the beginning or in that first year of loss with Jonathan and Catherine. I will be writing some more there. I took time off from writing, but there are some entries there that you might find supportive for your journey. The one thing to remember at the end of this is to remember peaceful self-care. A detox bath with Epsom salts and baking soda, really good music. Be very careful what music you're listening to. Be very careful what TV shows and what movies, what books you're reading. Be very, very good to yourself, that what you're putting in to your body and in your mind, in your heart, whatever is triggering your heart, that these things feed all the best parts of you. We'll talk more about how to clear out the scary and the negative tomorrow night. If you would like to get started with the essential oil piece of the emotional wellness that we'll be talking about, I want to give you guys something. There's a set of essential oils that it comes with 8 essential oils and blends for $150. It also includes a diffuser. Most of the people I work with begin right here because it's a phenomenal set to begin with. And I will walk you through personally how to use each and every oil. In fact, there's actually a clinical way to use them too that I will also educate you on if you're interested. Do you want more than one collection? Does this sound like a gift that you would like? So if you get the first initial collection for $150, then each oil set after that with the 8 essential oils and blends, that does not include the diffuser. The oils in particular, that would just be $100. Now, these are phenomenal, so this is a great way to start. My gift to you is that ordering during this series, the shipping is free. And so what I need you to do is just go ahead and send your payment to PayPal at sherrilm@gmail.com or at Venmo at Merciful Essentials. And it's mercifulessentials@yahoo.com would be the email associated with that. And just give me a note about which, would you like to get the initial collection? Would you like to add more? Let me know. And I'll just need your I'll need your email address and phone number so that I can get in touch with you, so I verify everything before I take care of that. I want to just make sure we got it all okay. So that's an easy part. During the series, this is a great time to join the Essential Healing Facebook group. It is an open group. You'll see a picture of a swan in water, and that is our group. I'm going to be posting this video in there, also along with uplifting posts. Not on Facebook? No problem. Email me. I will add you to my email broadcasts, and you'll be notified of different programs that I have coming up. Also, in my Working with People, you can definitely sign up to work with me. If you're getting essential oils with me, then those consults are going to be free, and I'll make sure that we answer any questions you might have. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and that you join me tomorrow, and that after you listen to the series, contact me. Let me know what you're interested in, what level you'd like to continue to move forward in. If you'd like to just participate in the Facebook group, great. If you really want to up everything and have your wellness be complete with some of these different tools, using some of these books and the different music. I do have a YouTube channel, Sherrill Ann Moody. You're welcome to jump on there and see what music. I've posted some nature videos I've taken and things like that, because I love doing that. That's the thing that makes me happy. If I have to run, then I'm going to take a picture or two along the way. So some of my personal self-care. Well, thank you for coming, and it's wonderful to have you here. And again, my name is Sherrill Ann Moody, and I am very grateful for this opportunity to spend some time with you. Enjoy your holidays, and show yourself some personal grace in the journey. Be gentle, be kind, and have a great evening.